Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort bench day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. So for speed benching today, we went with chains. I've been rotating bands and chains every workout now. Instead of running 3-week waves, I'm just changing it up each workout. And kind of went with what I did this last time and went with a wider grip, pinkies on rings, pinkies just a hair outside the rings. Just to get the deepest stretch possible in my chest. And I'll probably eventually work waves back into where I rotate grips. But the problem I run into with rotating grips is that with my bands and chains, because I have long arms, the distance is several inches and it completely changes the strength curve. So sometimes if I have perfect tension, like with the chains or whatever, on the wider grip, the chains completely lift off the floor on the closed grip. And so, because again, my arm length is so long, again, why I'm not as good at benching as I am at deadlifting, just an FYI. So, but again, I'm picking the point where I get the most tension at the bottom for these for now. And like I said, I'll eventually rotate grips around again, but I do like the idea that I get that. Even though it's a little less varied stress, I feel like I have enough variation in my main work and everything else that I can get away with it. And quite frankly, it's focusing on my weakest link, because if we rotate the grips, we're getting a more general training. But in this case, I know where I'm weakest on benching. I know I need to get that peak mechanical tension at the bottom of most of my movements to get bigger pecs. And so that's kind of what I'm running with for now on this. Again, shoring up my weak links because of all those years of close gripping and always being stronger at close grip than wider grip. I need to fix these weak links. Now that my shoulders are good, they can handle it. Something else I wanted to do, I wanted to really work on incline benching, but I've noticed the higher incline benching does seem to aggravate my shoulders a little. So I started messing the other day, this weekend, just seeing how it felt with 30 degrees, and it feels perfect. In fact, I can say, having done these just now, again with a slightly wider grip, it's pinkies just outside the rings, gives me great wrist stacking. Down at 30 degrees, I got some of the most intense chest pump that I think I've had in a long time. And I was almost worried, is this shoulders hurting? But no, it was just that deep burn right through the entire upper half of the pec, right? Even almost the middle. So again, this is a good angle for me. It feels very good on my shoulders. It gives me that super deep burn in the upper half of my chest, which means I'm also going to work the front delts. This is one of the lifts that will make you much stronger out of the bottom of the bench. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that delts are so critical down at the bottom. Also because we can get a slightly deeper stretch on the chest, at a slight incline. And again, so I'm running the 30 degrees. And you can't necessarily tell from this angle that it's not real close to flat, but it really is 30 degrees. I could probably get a side view later. But again, very, very happy with how it felt. Obviously dug in. I'm not really using any significant arch here, like you'll see a lot of even some of my guys do on incline. And I think that when we're running the steeper inclines, we have a tendency to do that. But in this case, felt good on my shoulders. Also, I wanted to experiment with a little bit of just light overhead pressing, and so I went with the axle bar because that had historically not hurt my shoulders. And so I went ahead and just did one set pretty much to a limit set. Again, with a lightweight, it's only 100 pounds, got to about 13 reps after having done all this other pressing. Again, using a grip that I know feels good on my shoulders. And, I might work in a little bit more overhead pressing as shoulder exercises. I don't want to completely throw out some of my lateral raises, but I also think that I don't have the recovery volume, especially when cutting right now a bit, slow cutting. I don't know that I have the volume recovery to do too much of it in the same workouts. So I think maybe later today, just to make sure that stuff gets hit, I may do some band pull aparts. But also I'm doing a lot of rowing since I'm rowing every workout now. That actually hits the rear delts and to some extent the side delts relatively hard. So I may not be really deficient there, because 3 sets of rows every workout. We're still getting 12 quality sets there. Particularly the type of rowing I do, with a little bit wider of a grip right now. On the seal rows, we're probably okay. All right, J-arm presses, I didn't try to go real heavy today because I did quite a bit of supplemental pressing. Just wanted to get that nice good burn in the triceps, and I do want to keep progressing on these, but I want to make sure I'm getting the form and range of motion where I want it before I keep adding weight and building these up. But still happy with them. The first couple sets, really the first set or so, I don't feel anything in my triceps, but I've noticed since I've started doing band press downs, I don't feel anything in my triceps anymore. All my pressing always feels like pecs, including close grip work. So it could just be an effect of all the high volume band press downs being the only thing that makes my triceps feel anything now. Although on the last set, I finally started feeling the medial head of the tricep get hit pretty hard. But I mean, looking at the movement, you can tell that it's the tricep is the primary mover, any way you break it down. All right, seal rows. Still waiting on some stuff with my my seal row bench. I don't have everything yet, so we're going to have to keep doing this setup for just a little bit longer. But I think that's going to be a nice solution. It's having a dedicated seal row bench will help tremendously with what I'm doing. And especially allow me to focus on the seal rows a lot and their variations, because I've got different bars I can do these with. And I think once I have a bench and everything on it too, I can add chains, whatever I need to do, possibly even bands. All right, especially if I drop it over into this setup, I can hook it right onto those band pegs. So I can definitely get some variation there if I'm worried about it. All right, and then of course I'm finishing with the standing curls, and I've decided I'm going to do these every upper body workout. We're going to do some dedicated bicep work for a while, but I want something that's going to be easy on the tendons, right? Which this is, that's still long range of motion. And notice we can get a longer lengthening of the bicep at the bottom than we can with a barbell. But, for anyone who recommends something like preacher curls tear biceps. They're notorious for it. I believe they were truly invented by a sadist who just wanted to see people's biceps tear. But in this case, I think just a simple dumbbell curl, right? Just done consistently after doing rowing and my back work on my upper body days with just enough volume will probably help over time. I think it'll help bring up the biceps. We know they're my weakest point, and I've torn that one bicep before, the left one. And I still have a pretty big surgical scar there, and I'm missing a little chunk of the muscle. But I'm hoping over time maybe we can just correct that. We just need to be dedicated with these, stay with light weights, and just focus on good mechanical tension. I don't want to say the word pump because it's really not what it is. It's about just placing quality tension on the muscle without beating the tendons up. And that's just going to be the goal there. And again, it only takes 4 or 5 minutes tops out of each of my workouts at the end to do this. And then I finish up with 1 high rep set of band press downs just for the tendons and the lockout strength. But overall, happy with today's workout. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.